Android has been in development for what, close to 30 years by now? And during that time, we've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of new features added to the most popular mobile operating system on the market today. So it makes sense to think back and remember all of the different features that I wish I had known about sooner. And that's exactly what today's video is going to be about. So I'm going to be highlighting 6 Android settings that I find myself using almost daily. And if you aren't sure about how to set up any of the features that I mention here, then be sure to check the video description as well as the pinned comment for links to dedicated guides that I have previously done here on the channel, as they do a great job of explaining the features and walking you through how to use them from start to finish. First up, we have those situations when you accidentally swipe away your notifications without reading them all, whether that's from tapping on the Clear All button or just quickly swiping each of them away. I know there have been times when you read a few words of the notification and then notice that it has been dismissed, and you instantly kick yourself for not reading it all. Thankfully, Android has a notification history feature, but this is something that is disabled by default. So you have to proactively enable it within the Settings app before you need it. This is definitely one of the first things that I go in and enable on the days when I get a new phone. And you can find this by opening up the Settings application and then doing a search for the word history. And you should find a notification history option from within that search. Whether or not you actually have access to this next feature will depend on which keyboard app you use. But I've gotten used to Gboard over the years, and its clipboard history feature has saved me from having to go back and forth between apps to copy and paste multiple things in a document. And just like the notification history feature, you're going to need to enable clipboard history before you actually need it. At least that's how it's implemented within the Gboard application. But I think it's something that you should check on now and enable the feature if your keyboard app offers it. That way, you will already have access to it for those times when it can be helpful. I'm sure you've been there before. A friend, a coworker, or even a stranger has asked if they can use your phone to make a call or look up an address, or maybe you just want someone to be able to scroll through the photos that you took of a social event, but you're worried about them minimizing the app and then snooping through your other photos or your messages or anything else you have on your phone. Android has had a way to handle this for a while now. It's called app pinning, and you can see that it will keep the currently active application pinned to your screen, and you can only unpin it by knowing how to unlock the device, whether that's your PIN, pattern, or password. That way, the person that you hand your phone to, they aren't able to go peeking at your other apps while you have one pinned to the screen. Most Android devices these days have a really limited selection when it comes to what you can set your screen timeout to. Few devices out there actually offer a 30-minute option these days, and fewer offer a setting that's longer. I used to like keeping my phone unlocked until I physically locked it myself, and thankfully, there's actually a way that we can set our screen timeout value to just about any number we want. This process will require you to execute an ADB command, so you'll either need a PC to configure this manually, or you'll need to use a local ADB solution. But you can set this to something as low as 3 or even 5 seconds, or you can bring it up all the way to 3 hours or 5 hours or even longer. This is definitely a feature that not everyone needs to know, but again, it's something that I use on just about every Android device that I own. The Developer Options menu, aka Developer Mode, is a massive collection of settings and features that Google has determined are useful, but doesn't need to be packed into all of the settings menus by default. And as the name implies, many of these are extremely helpful for those who are actively developing an Android application or game, since they can help give diagnostic information about how it's actually running. But there are a ton of useful features in here that virtually every single Android user can appreciate. From things like adjusting the speed of the animations, to offering a wireless version of ADB debugging, and even something as simple as making sure no apps are allowed to run in the background. There are a lot of different features here that I have used on every single Android smartphone that I own, and it would be difficult to go without them on devices that I plan on using in the future as well. The concept of what a launcher is within Android is something that not everyone understands, and it's something that even fewer people actually want to go in and set up. But many of these custom launchers available today offer a way to back up and restore your setup. So as long as you saved that backup to the cloud, you'll never have to set up your home screen experience on Android again, even after you go through a factory data reset, because you can just download that backup file from a service like Google Drive and then restore the details like font size, application icon order and placement, and much more. This has enabled me to go from taking a couple of hours to set up my phone again to literally less than 5 minutes, because all of my app icons are put back in place. The apps that are no longer there can be reinstalled with a quick tap, and everything else within that launcher will be backed up and restored as well.